Hello, welcome to my step 5, my final personal steps to well-being during lockdown. And this is about rediscovering. This is me rediscovering reading. Um, when I was younger, I used to read all the time. I was voracious. I had 5 books on the go all the time. I'd have like an historical novel. I'd have something that was a classic. I would have, something political. I would probably have a biography. I would have a slush one, and you just want to read a little bit before you go to sleep, but you don't want to have to really take it in. So I'd have all 5 of those on the go. At all times I had a book. I had a book in the car for when I picked the kids up. I had a book in my handbag. It was, from a very young age until about 7 or 8 years ago, it was like a massively important part of my life. Didn't watch a lot of TV, went to bed to read every night. Could read a book in a day quite happily. And about 7 or 8 years ago, my life went through a massive change and I lost the ability to read, I lost the ability to concentrate. And it's something that I felt bad about ever since because it was such an intrinsic part of who I have been, who I'd always been. And yeah, it's been difficult. So using this time in lockdown has been brilliant because just before we all entered lockdown, Hilary Mantel brought out the third part of the Wolf Hall trilogy, The Mirror and the Light. So I'd ordered it to get it on the day it came out from Waterstones, and it's kind of worked out really well for me. It's a massive book. It's difficult to read in bed. I have to prop it on pillows. But what I have done is I've allotted myself half an hour a day in my now designated reading chair to sit and to practice mindful reading, really. So, no phone, door shut. Don't want the dogs like jumping all over me, barking out the window because they're forever on corona patrol. Anybody walking past, it's like, get back in your house. Reading has come back into my sphere because we're on lockdown. Because you do need to be taken out of yourself. You do need to have time where you're not thinking about, all the worrying things around this virus. When's it going to stop? Is it going to affect people that we know and love? How is the NHS coping? Delivery drivers, is there enough food? I mean, we saw that with the toilet roll debacles, didn't we, at the beginning? And worrying, what's that person doing walking down the street? And I think that we need time away from all of that. We need time away from our phones. We need time away I certainly do, from worrying about it. And so the great thing about reading for me is that I could be in space. I could be in the Georgian times. I could be in Tudor England. I could be delving into the life of somebody in a biography. So I used to read a lot of biographies. So I'd read like JFK one, and then I'd read one about Jackie Onassis, and then Aristotle Onassis, and then Maria Callas, and then Robert Kennedy. So I used to like read all around, and so you can be anywhere in time or space when you're reading. And at Recovery College, we have a cafe run by Chaos, and they do like a book exchange. So before the lockdown, quite fortuitously, I'd taken 2 massive bags of books in because I was giving them somebody who was moving out of county. And so I swapped them for a load of like really handy little tiny books. Thomas Hardy. I've read a lot of Thomas Hardy in the past, and I'm looking forward to going back and something that you can just have in your handbag. You don't need a Kindle when you've got a beautiful little book like this, do you? I'm quite excited about getting back into reading, and I do like a little bit of science now and again about what why we do the things that we do and why they matter, why they work for us. That's a really big point, isn't it? So this is a little bit of info from readingpartners.org, and they gave us 4 reasons to shut off the screen and pick up a book. Reading is proven to reduce stress and increase relaxation. Reading combats mental decline and Alzheimer's with old age. Doctors have prescribed reading as a treatment for certain mental health conditions, and people who read often become more empathic. So they're all pretty good reasons to read, aren't they? For me, reading has been something that I've come back into, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's made me want to revisit books that I've loved in the past. So some recommendations. The Wolf Hall trilogy, obviously, by Hilary Mantel, David Copperfield by Dickens, well, any Dickens really, I love Dickens. Prayer for Owen Meany, John Irving, or any John Irving book, absolutely love his books. John Steinbeck, anything by John Steinbeck, but East of Eden in particular is a huge favourite of mine. And I'm just going to say it, Bridget Jones's Diary. I love Bridget Jones's Diary, and a lot of people think it's a bit slushy, but you know what? We all need a bit of slush now and again. And Paul Theroux's early books. He's Louis Theroux's dad. He's an amazing writer. So yeah, some of the people that I really love as writers and have caused me endless hours of joy over the years. So yeah, that's my fifth and final well-being step for this lockdown period is reading. I suppose the overarching thing for all of these steps that I've been doing is kindness to myself and practicing self-care. You know, it's really important to recognise how we are all deserving of this time to reevaluate, to sit back, to be just with ourselves a little bit. And, you know, what do you love? What do you want to do? What can you do within your home, within your garden, within the space around you? How can you connect with others? And you know, seeing it as an opportunity, although it is a huge challenge, and staying as focused as you can on making sure that you're okay and that your mental health and your well-being is taken care of. And so for me, a big massive part of that has been and will continue to be is practicing kindness to myself and self-care. And like, you know, if it's a day where I just can't, then that's all right. You can't, you know. Yesterday I was so tired after a few days in the garden in the sun. It was so hot, and I just thought I just want to lie on the sofa. I don't want to be digging in the garden. I don't want to be, you know, messing around with bits and bobs and chopping branches down. What I'd quite like to do today is lie on the sofa and do nothing. That's what I did, and my husband was like, yeah, you do what you need to do, it's absolutely fine. And because I practice kindness and self-care to myself, and and I had a lovely day, and I feel so much better for doing that. It's been good. So they were my 5 steps to well-being during the lockdown. Hope you enjoyed them. Thank you.